every step of this long marathon to get to day 40 of 40. He joins us now, Doug, with Hunter Joyce, photojournalist behind the lens too, who I just saw with a cup of coffee getting fueled up for the big day ahead. Doug, describe for people who don't know what it's like under the Gold Dome on Sine Die, describe what this day feels like there, and then bring us up to speed on some of the big topics, the big bills that you are keeping a close eye on as we head into the evening hours.
Well, I think the speech you just heard kind of encapsulates what it's like here. It's riveting, obviously, as we listen to the speechification of senators and representatives trying to persuade their colleagues to vote for bills that, for the most part, they've already decided whether or not they're going to vote for. In that case, of course, what you have is an ideological bill that basically punishes the urban areas of the state that fail to police homelessness. And it doesn't, critics would say that it doesn't necessarily actually address the homelessness itself. It merely addresses how the state can, which is run by Republicans, can punish cities, which are run by Democrats, generally speaking, about how they address homelessness. So there's a lot of those kinds of clashes here at the Capitol every day on Sine Die. We haven't seen that many of those yet. However, as the day is young, adjournment is probably at least 10 hours away. It's 9.5 technically, but it's likely to go past midnight. The bills that we're kind of looking at are tax bills, property taxes. Should we reduce them? Income taxes. Should we reduce them? Should we do both? Likewise, budget bills. The House and Senate weirdly have not been able to agree on a budget, and it's Republicans in both chambers that are carrying the charge on that issue. And yet there is this odd divide between the House and Senate. It's almost like men in locker rooms puffing up their chests and deciding who's going to be predominant. We get a lot of that here as well, Zach. It's not the kind of entertainment that everybody likes, but when you can find those nuggets, it gives you at least something to grab hold of during the course of a lengthy day.
A lengthy day, a day with, as you put it well, a lot of speechification and speechifying. But at its core, even if the speechifying can be a little less than enthralling, at its core are laws and amendments to bills and things that could go into law that will affect and impact Georgia, and certainly not least of which is this budget that is still outstanding work for these lawmakers, maybe a little bit of brinkmanship between the Republican-controlled House and Republican-controlled Senate. Doug, is it unusual for the lawmakers to wait this long to finish up the state budget? The only thing I would point out that by law they have to do before adjourning.
Sometimes they drag it out a little bit, but I've seen instances where they've agreed on it pretty early and without the kind of gnashing of teeth that we've seen this year. So yes, it is unusual for it to be as contentious in a very nerdy kind of way. Like one of the issues has to do with funding for the university system of Georgia and the extent to which funding will change for online classes versus in-person classes, and it's a little dumbfounding when you get that deep into the weeds. You can see where differences of opinion would exist, but why they would extend into day 40 of a 40-day legislative session is something that somebody smarter than me probably ought to try to answer.
Well, Doug, I don't know if there's a lot of people with more brain power than you under the Gold Dome. We trust in your power to handle all that for us. One last question before we go, and we talk about things that sometimes take a little extra brain power. Can you describe for us just how much bills can change on this last day as there's a lot of negotiating happening off of the Senate and House floors? Things can change pretty dramatically just in the text of one bill from the start of the day to the end, right?
Right you are, Zach. And I actually wrote down a couple of instances this morning when I was looking at the Rules Committee calendar for the state Senate. There is a bill, SB 248, that's on the calendar that's about geothermal structures. And it is changed into a firearm storage tax credit bill, which should be interesting to watch. It's a Republican bill. It's not the safe storage bill that Democrats have talked about. It's the tax credit bill that Republicans have talked about to incentivize people to buy safe storage devices. Another such bill that's on the calendar today was a bill called the Riley-Gaines Act, and that basically was a bill that dealt with, the Republicans issued that dealt with transgender student athletes. And that bill, interestingly, got changed to a DUI restitution bill. And that too is on the Senate calendar. There are, I'm sure, other examples that I've overlooked this morning. But yeah, it is. It's a wonder to behold how these transformations take place and so seamlessly. You know, like folks will look at you like, well, of course we changed that bill to this. I mean, that's what we do, and that's what they do, Zach.
A day of metamorphosis, and we're going to be tracking it all night long. As we know, you, Doug, and you, Hunter Joyce, behind the camera, you guys are going to be hard at work throughout the evening. Get some more coffee. We'll be talking to you throughout the evening. We really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.